Welcome back to YouTubers to my Everyday Life of an EC channel. So today is going to be another collab with Lydia Williams from Life with Lydia, so that you can get to know her more than just the conditions she goes through on a daily. And in saying this, also welcome her back. And I know, as I said, it's not easy for many of us to speak out, but I give her high praises for actually raising her hand and say, yes, I would like to talk about this a bit more on my channel to raise an awareness and understanding so that you guys are not alone. So again, welcome back, Lydia, and let's roll on these questions for the second part of the series, which is your post-traumatic stress disorder. So let's begin. What is the name of your condition and the common names to this condition, if there's any that is broken down?
Hey, what's up guys, I'm Lydia. You've seen me previously on this channel. I'm currently on holiday and I'm refilming this video for Aspie because the first version didn't save properly. And I was like, why not refilm it? So, hi, I'm Lydia from the YouTube channel Life with Lydia. I make content about my mental health recovery here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a bit about complex PTSD, which is a diagnosis I have and I've had for a few years now. So it's known as complex PTSD, aka C-PTSD.
What are the signs and symptoms?
The signs and symptoms are the same as those with PTSD, and PTSD is characterised by exposure to traumatic events. What complex PTSD is where we've had continuous exposure to the same or similar traumatic incident. And the signs and symptoms include flashbacks, anxiety, depression, panic, memories, nightmares, and they are some of the things that impact
triggers and causes of post-traumatic stress disorder.
The triggers for me were being exposed to suicide on multiple occasions, witnessing a suicide and witnessing death. I've also been traumatised through my childhood and abuse. I was in a domestic relationship and I was abused daily in this relationship, and that contributed to my PTSD.
How and when were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when I was 15 with PTSD. I then got the diagnosis changed to complex PTSD about a year ago when I was in hospital because of how much exposure I'd had to it. It was then decided that you have complex PTSD rather than PTSD, and PTSD and complex PTSD are two completely different things, and I'll put on screen now.
What are your everyday struggles with this condition, and with these everyday struggles, how do you overcome these struggles on a daily?
The daily struggles are the lack of sleep. I don't sleep very well because of it, because I have nightmares, because I'm in a worse condition than when I slept. I can't fall asleep because of the fear I have with it, so it's pretty intense to live with. It makes me very tired. It's exhausting.
Has your condition ever stopped you from doing the things you love? If so, what are they? If not, what are they?
It's things that stop me doing include going out, and relationships are something I struggle with intensely. I find relationships extremely hard, though I am in a very happy and positive relationship at the moment.
You manage and cope with your everyday situations?
The daily management for me is just avoiding triggers. I have to avoid the triggers. I can't be around the triggers. I've done a lot of therapy, and in the future I will probably go back to therapy, but at the moment I'm not in a place where I need or want therapy.
What are your pet peeves about this condition that you hear about and you want to clarify to the audience to demolish?
Pet peeves of it are when people say you're too young to have PTSD, or people have it worse. It's so unhelpful. And what it's like is that it's exhausting, it's tiring, it's
misconceptions about the condition.
Myths and misconceptions are the main misconception I think there is with PTSD is that only those who have been to war can have it, and that's just very simply not true. Anyone who's been exposed to a traumatic incident or continuous traumatic incidents can be diagnosed with PTSD.
Are there any benefits of having this? If so, what are they?
There aren't any benefits to this condition, unfortunately.
It's basically, is there any tools, techniques or methods that you use to cope in your everyday situations?
So treatment, like I said, is therapy. You can have medication to treat the symptoms of it, and I have done, like my anxiety. I've had medication for that previously. Sleep, I've had medication for that previously. I done adult therapy.
What advice would you give to the audience today that are either in a relationship or has a friend that has a condition, or if they are in a relationship and they have it, what would you like to share with us?
My advice for the audience would be, don't be afraid to seek help.
And last but not least, are there anything else you would like to add before we end this interview today? If so, what is it? Please feel free to share.
The how to care for someone will be just to be a supportive place. Don't think the worst. Don't think people who have PTSD are violent. I think that's another misconception as well, I should have mentioned earlier. But people assume that if you have PTSD you can have violent rages and all of that, and it just isn't true. Like, I'm not a violent person. I never would be. I wouldn't dream of it. Just be there and don't tell someone, oh, you're too young, or people who are age don't get PTSD. Because anyone, any age can have PTSD. Like I said, thank you for having me on your channel. Anyway, Aspie, I appreciate the opportunity, and I will see you guys probably soon. And if you're interested in what I do, I make recovery vlogs over on my own channel. So I will see you guys in a bit. Bye.
Thank you, Lydia, for taking the time again to come onto my channel today. If you like this, guys, smash the like. Feel free to pop over to Lydia's channel, which will be listed in the description below, and tell her Aspie has sent you over to show some support to her. So no further ado, guys, basically all the links will be in there, as well as mine as well. Thanks for your support, thanks for watching, and also feel free to share these videos around to family and friends to educate one another in saying this. And all further ado, guys, thanks for your support, thanks for watching, do what love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing.